With that, we do have a little bit of breaking news here. President-elect Trump has just announced on his Truth Social account that he is picking Robert F. Kennedy Jr. to be the next Secretary of Health and Human Services. This comes after RFK suspended his third-party bid for president and endorsed Trump in the final months of the campaign. Of course, RFK is an outspoken vaccine conspiracy theorist and has often repeated claims about vaccines being linked to autism. Vaughn, let me go back to you. This was actually anticipated, so not a huge surprise. Too soon for you to be getting any reaction, so I'm not going to put you on the spot in that regard, but there undoubtedly will likely be some heated reaction to this pick, given his history of vaccine skepticism.
Absolutely. I remember back in 2016, number one, Kristen, during his transition, the first go around, it turned a lot of heads when he was at Trump Tower living at the time, and he was going through his transition process. And Robert F. Kennedy Jr., it was announced that he was coming to Trump Tower to meet with Donald Trump. And it turned a lot of heads because somebody who is openly skeptical of vaccines and making assertions that they were connected to things like autism was a surprising figure to wind up in Donald Trump's presence. But fast forward 8 years, Robert F. Kennedy Jr.'s popularity nationally and recognition only increased, not only among the vaccine skeptic community, but also folks that are very skeptical about ingredients and sugars that are in food and drink products of the United States. And he was running for president as independent before ultimately backing out of the race himself and endorsing Donald Trump. And I actually talked to Kennedy just last week here in Palm Beach, and he had suggested to me that he was actually more open to a role as like a White House health czar, which would not require Senate confirmation. And so I think that is the surprising part of this, was that he was never openly vying necessarily for the HHS secretary position, especially knowing that it requires Senate confirmation. But he insisted to me, I asked him, for example, about his vaccine skepticism or anti-vax positions, and whether as HHS secretary or within the White House in some capacity, he would seek to have the FDA block authorization of such vaccines or remove vaccines from the market. The reason I asked that was because during the COVID pandemic, he was publicly anti the FDA's emergency authorization of COVID vaccines. When I asked him last week, he insisted to me that he would not seek to remove any vaccines from the market and instead would try to ensure that American public had all the information about the vaccines that they were going to be taking. But of course, that was of the foremost concern. And Donald Trump, even before Election Day, had said that he would allow RFK to do whatever he wants on healthcare policy. And now, with the selection of him, and if he is confirmed by the Senate, he would be giving him the power to oversee healthcare policy and 13 health agencies, including the CDC and FDA, Kristen.
Yeah, your interview with him was really important and timely, and obviously your exchange with him on vaccines, incredibly critical, will continue to be in focus, I would imagine, particularly as we get closer to his confirmation hearings. Vaughn, thank you so much for that fantastic information, and great job with that.
Thanks for watching. Stay updated about breaking news and top stories on the NBC News app or follow us on social media.